And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We want to talk about a new lawsuit just filed against the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, CMSD. In the lawsuit, it alleges that many, if not all, of inner city schools deal with some sort of mold situation in the air. But in this lawsuit specifically, it's going after the Newton D. Baker School of Arts situation. The lawsuit claims that there have been roof leaking problems since 2020, and since then a mold situation had occurred and then exacerbated, gotten worse in about 2025, early this year, when there was a major flooding situation at that school. Some of the drop ceilings came down, exposed how much mold may have been in that school, and teachers, students, staff potentially breathing in that, being in that environment. We've asked Cleveland Metropolitan School District for perhaps a comment, maybe even some pictures of the situation. And let's be real clear here. The school has been shut down. Their last day was in May. The school district citing just overall building issues and maintenance issues. And instead of just patching it up, they decided to just close it all together. A very emotional situation for the students and staff that had spent years there. But on top of that, now a new lawsuit making some pretty hefty allegations. We're going to bring in the attorney on this suit. We're speaking with Jedediah Bressman. He is from the Bressman Law Firm. Mr. Bressman, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Let's get into this lawsuit. Some pretty substantial claims in here as I read the complaint. It's been filed with the Cuyahoga County courts. Walk us through, in your opinion, obviously you're the attorney representing the 5 students and their parents. How big of a problem is this, or was this, at a school that's now closed?
Yeah, so what we learned earlier this year was that there has been a long-term problem at Newton Baker. Some of the teachers and staff that I've spoke to told us that they think this has been going on for about 9 years. Roof leak after roof leak that just goes with patch job after patch job. And ultimately what it came down to is when the school district had the opportunity to fix the issue and fix it permanently, they decided not to fix it permanently. They put patch jobs on it. And ultimately, this is from the school district's own language. The school district, when they shut down the school, said, well, the cost of repairs is going to cost $30 million. And we don't necessarily want to be able to do that right now. If this was a short-term issue, we're not talking about $30 million worth of repairs. And on top of that, they had a company come in and perform remediation of the mold. And they said, the company told them, you have a mold issue and you need to get it remediated. And they didn't take the students out of the school. They didn't take the teachers, the staff, the parents, even visitors. They did the remediation while the students were in there. All that's going to do is shove the mold all around the school. That's going to push it around. And even if you remediate it properly, if you don't take care of the water intrusion, you don't fix anything.
You talk about in the lawsuit about a cafeteria situation, and my eyes kind of opened a little bit wider that at one point they had to close down a cafeteria. Walk us through what you're alleging about the cafeteria and the food situation.
Yep. So our understanding is that one of the biggest areas where this mold problem was present was in the cafeteria. So some of the pictures that we've seen, and most of these are just online because ultimately Cleveland Metropolitan School District ignored a public records request that I sent to them over a month ago. And they decided they weren't going to give us the test results. They weren't going to share the swab results. But our understanding is there was a lot of mold and a lot of water damage in the cafeteria area, where they ultimately had to even stop serving lunch and have grab and go meals for the students. Which, again, you have these students walking into the cafeteria area that's got water damage, that's got mold, and they're walking in, grabbing lunches, and walking out. Ultimately, it's a really disgusting situation, and it's just, ultimately, there's no better word for it other than gross.
And at this point, with the 5 students and the parents named along in the lawsuit, and I should state for people who don't know, the Newton D. Baker School of Arts, located on West 159th Street, but again, it's been closed. Their last day was in May. I know you can't get into specifics because of confidentiality and HIPAA laws, but what types of health concerns were the students showing at the time, and are there any long-term effects here?
Yeah, so the hope is that there isn't any long-term effects. The National Institute of Health actually has a whole entire fact sheet regarding what types of illnesses you can look out for. There are very, I would say, easy ones. The easy ones are cough, respiratory. People who have asthma already tend to be those that are the most affected. But there are also mental health issues, neurological issues. Lots of people who get sick don't understand why they're sick. And then when it comes out that it's mold, they finally realize why. And so while they're sick, they tend to feel more depression, anxiety. All of those, again, are from medical journals. They're from the National Institute of Health. These aren't like Jedediah Bressman's making them up and showing up to the courthouse and saying, "Judge, I hope you believe me as a Juris Doctor." These are what the MDs, the scientists, are saying about mold. And this whole lawsuit is about protecting the students, protecting the community. I mean, the school district gets tax dollars, they charge fees, they have all of these different costs that they put on parents and students. And the parents shouldn't have to worry about their kids going to school and dealing with an environment that they're already trying to learn in. It's already a difficult environment because you're trying to learn something new every day. That's the point of school. But then when you have to go in and you have to deal with mold, you have to deal with an illness, you have to deal with all these other things, then it becomes a community safety issue, not just these are what these 5 students were going through. This is what the entire school had to go through.
And I don't want to talk about a specific person, but can you tell me that your 5 clients, they were sick at some point, and what were they sick with?
Yeah, so again, generally they were sick. I mean, the only clients that I will take are people who are affected. I mean, that's kind of the point of this lawsuit is these students have been affected. They had anywhere ranging from respiratory issues to mental health issues. The school district actually promises on its website that it will help the students deal with their physical and mental health issues. Obviously didn't happen here. The other part of this is that, again, we represent people who are sick. We don't want people who are saying, "No, I was fine." Mold affects everybody differently. That's what the National Institute of Health says. That's what the CDC says. All of it depends on who you are and how much exposure you actually had to the mold itself.
Excellent. We are speaking with Jedediah Bressman from Bressman Law. He has filed a lawsuit against Cleveland Metropolitan School Districts for an alleged mold situation at Newton Baker School of the Arts on Cleveland's west side. We have asked CMSD for a comment. I can tell you, as a reporter that's dealt with CMSD for years, we're probably going to get an email back that says they don't comment on current litigation. We understand that. Where do you expect this lawsuit to go from here? And is there a timeline? And are you looking for other people that are impacted?
So the timeline will really depend on when Cleveland Metropolitan School District responds, how they respond, whether they try to dismiss the lawsuit, which, to be frank, the same way that you understand that they won't comment, I understand that they're probably going to try to dismiss it, try to claim some sort of immunity, try not to have responsibility taken for a situation that is very public. And a lot of people have already seen the pictures. I mean, if you go online and look at Newton Baker, the pictures are online, the trash cans that are in the middle of the school. They're just, again, the grossness of just the environment that these students were in. We're obviously, happy to represent people who are sick, happy to represent people who dealt with the issue throughout the time that they were there. Obviously, if this issue has gone on for 9 years, which is what some of the evidence and some of the suggestion has been, there are students who may have gone there 9 years ago who are just learning about why they had particular issues. But the purpose of this, again, is that we're dealing with community safety issues, a violation of these safety rules of just protecting the health of the students and protecting the health of those in the community for getting what they should be paying for, which is a safe environment.
We appreciate the time, Mr. Bressman, again with Bressman Law on this issue, this new lawsuit filed against Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Again, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap it up. Again, we just wanted to bring this out. We just found out about the lawsuit this morning, and it was made public. And so we've got to start asking questions. And we'd like to hear from Cleveland Metropolitan School District on what they say. This lawsuit is claiming some pretty large accusations, toxic mold, and being exposed to it. Students, if you think about a school over the course of what Mr. Bressman said is 9 years, that's a lot of students who could have been exposed to a situation for quite some time. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be here on our digital platforms. Our noon broadcast has got about 15 minutes left. You can tune in to Channel 19 or look for 3.5 hours of first alert weather and news starting at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day. Alrighty, sir. Thanks for the time.
Nope. Thanks, Dan. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Take care.